YouTube, it's shintigercurl here again. Yeah. And as you can see, I got a new hat. Yeah, and I'm not here to talk about my new awesome hat. I just finished watching the newest episode of X-Play, and they brought up a very interesting subject that I felt I needed to comment on. Apparently tomorrow, the Supreme Court will be issuing a decision on a landmark case regarding violence in video games, and if things don't go the way that we want them to, the video game industry as a whole will be changed forever. And the person spearheading this entire campaign is none other than the governor of California, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, I find it incredibly ironic that the person railing against violent and mature video games is the same man who made his career off destroying small countries. Yeah, the very movie that he first got famous for includes a scene where he breaks into a police station and slaughters just about every cop he sees. That really doesn't make sense. The Terminator railing against bad video games. Wow, that is really bad. That's like Pee Wee. That's like Pee Wee Herman saying that porno is bad. Yeah, that is just weird. But I have to just say this. Why do they feel the need to go after video games now of all times? And I'll tell you why. It's because this is the election season, the midterm elections. And they're just trying to stir the pot and get them something that'll get the nice conservative base to vote their way. Like, video games are bad. Vote Republican, yeah. But it's just something that they get on. I mean, it's just something to stand on so they can increase their political base or whatever. It's very dirty. It's very stupid, and I expected better from Arnold. Really, I mean, why, Arnie? Why pick video games? I mean, what the fuck they ever done to you? They've done you good. You've been in a lot of licensed video games. The Terminator series. Let's see, True Lies. What else? I think End of Days was made into a video game. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I mean, I grew up on grew up on violent video games, and even though I am pretty crazy, I'm not a psychopath. I haven't grown up to be a psychopath. If I have certain aggressive feelings, I take them out in the video game. Like if I'm mad about something, I just pop in Capcom versus Tatsunoko and beat the crap out of it. It makes my game better. Or if I feel like shooting somebody who cut me off in traffic, I just pop in Gears of War or something and just go to town. But see, that's what it does. It makes, and especially good for teenagers too. I mean, I remember I was crazy back in the day. Before that whole Columbine shit happened, I was actually really honestly considering shooting my fellow classmates. I even told people this back when I was a teenager, and it was a very angry time for me. But nonetheless, I got through it because I had an outlet for those emotions, mostly video games. It was an appropriate outlet for me, and it curbed certain instincts that I had. But and my parents let me play whatever video game that I wanted because they knew it was something for me to do. It kept me out of trouble. But now they choose to go after violent video games. It sickens me in a way. I mean, this is what you spend your time on. Our economy's in the garbage. We're still under threats from Al Qaeda. Osama bin Laden is still loose after over 10 years since 9/11 happened. We got homelessness, joblessness, the housing market's in the shitter. We had a massive, disastrous oil spill, and this is what you choose to get on? Violent video games, and whether or not, and children, and for the children? You stupid fucks. I mean, there are better uses of your time. There are much better uses for your time, influence, and money. And yet you choose to go after video games. Why? I mean, if you wanna censor video games, why not censor music too? Oh, you tried that once before in the 80s. Yeah, that's right. Tried to go after heavy metal and rap and all this other bullshit. And every time they do something like this, it's always during an election season, because they gotta have something to talk about because they suck. Yeah, you conservative sons of bitches go after rap music and say it's violent, but tout Johnny Cash as good quality music. Well, let me tell you something about Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash was gangster before gangster even was a genre. He, in one of his most famous songs, he had, and I quote, a line that said, I'm quoting here, "I shot a man in Reno just so I could watch him die." Let me repeat that. Johnny Cash, country western legend, said in a song, "I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die." So if you can let that skirt by and you're just going after violent video games, then that just shows you how much of a well, what's the word I'm looking for? How hypocritical you are. You'll say one, if you're gonna go after violent video games, then go. If you're gonna say that they're too violent for them, why don't you go after the country music too? Yeah, country music is violent as hell. My friend listens to a lot of country music, and I'm just very surprised how fucking violent it is. Talk about drinking and shooting people and beating their wives, and it's just ridiculous. And they actually let this slide. I mean, is this the best is this the best you can do? Is this honestly the best you can come up with, Arnie and the Republicans, to go after violent video games? Now, Arnie, I wouldn't be you to be arguing about whether something or not is violent or not. Mr. I'll be back. Yeah, Mr. I jump out of airplanes and I'm okay. Yeah, Mr. I eat green berets like you for breakfast. Right now, I'm very hungry. Yeah, that doesn't look good for you. So, if you're watching this, I hope you sign petitions or do whatever it takes, because if you're a gamer, then this really concerns you. If you're not, then this really concerns freedom of speech, because video games are like any other entertainment medium, a freedom of speech. It's freedom to tell what kind of stories you want to tell. I mean, it's the only medium that has gotten even my nephew, my 16-year-old nephew, has gotten into Greek mythology thanks to God of War. And I've always wanted to get into Greek mythology. He didn't think it was interesting. Then he started playing God of War, and he's like, wow, Greek mythology is really great. I mean, was it always like this? Like, yeah, Sir Kratos is a made-up character, but this is pretty much what Greek mythology was. It was just vengeance and insanity and craziness and gods being dicks and whatever. If you, like I said, you got better things to do with your time. You got time to rail on video games? Or why would you try to help out the economy? Or do something more important with your time? Just leave video games alone. We haven't done anything to you. Go find Osama bin Laden or something. Go kiss Sarah Palin's ass. I don't care. Whatever. Just leave video games alone. Okay? That's all I'm saying.